His entire family was slaughtered by demons, leaving him with no choice but to hunt down and kill every last one of them. In this world, humanoid species such as humans, elves, and dwarves, blessed by the gods of light, have never gotten along with the demon race. The two sides have clashed for millennia, dividing the vast continent of Loinders into the east and west. However, when a moderate demon king rose to power 300 years ago, the conflict stabilized, and the humanoids grew accustomed to a fragile peace. That peace was shattered in the 5th month of the year 2826 when a new demon king took the throne and launched a full-scale assault against the humanoids. The demons fought fiercely, showing no regard for their own casualties. Several humanoid nations fell in the blink of an eye. By the 4th month of the following year, 2827, the Gargan Empire, the strongest of the humanoid nations, was destroyed. With no other options left, the remaining humanoids launched a desperate counterattack. While their main forces engaged the demon army, a suicide squad infiltrated the Demon King's castle in a final attempt to assassinate him. The mission was a deadly one. The squad lost its members one by one until only Kyle, the main protagonist, and his teammate Urza remained. Before entering the Demon King's chamber, Kyle drank a magic-boosting potion, bracing for the worst. To their surprise, the room was empty, except for a glowing magic stone at its center. As Kyle approached it, magical orbs suddenly materialized and flew toward him. He tried to deflect them with his sword, but there were too many. Just as he was about to be struck down, Urza stepped in and used her magic to shield him, sacrificing herself in the process. This shocked Kyle, making him even angrier. The Demon King then appeared. Consumed with rage, Kyle charged at him, but he was still no match, as the Demon King had an unstoppable high-level spell that obliterated everything in its path. Kyle then looked at his sword, ready to die, and channeled every ounce of his remaining magic into one final strike. His sword, sensing the moment, responded in kind, saying that if his wielder was risking his life, then he had no choice but to join him. Seeing this, the Demon King attempted to counter with his ultimate move, but Kyle's attack overpowered him, ultimately managing to kill him. After that, instead of feeling happy, Kyle felt empty inside. After all, everything he had fought to protect was already gone. His home, his family, his friends, all that remained was himself. Just then, the magic stone began to glow even brighter. Drawn to it, Kyle reached out and touched it. In an instant, he was transported back in time to before the war broke out. As he looked around his room, he could hardly believe it, thinking it must be a dream. But then, Lisa, his childhood friend, came into his room to wake him up. Seeing her, tears suddenly welled up in his eyes, and he immediately hugged her, accidentally falling on top of her in the process. Embarrassed, Lisa punched him in the stomach and told him she didn't know what that was about, but she needed time to emotionally prepare herself. Then she left the room. After she was gone, Kyle noticed the same glowing magic stone on his bed, confirming that this wasn't a dream at all. Later, Kyle came downstairs to find something to eat, only to see a table full of food prepared by Lisa. Apparently, she often came over to cook since neither Kyle nor his mother were good at it. Not having had a proper meal in so long, Kyle ended up eating everything. Just then, his friend Theron arrived and was shocked to see all the food gone. He complained that Kyle could have at least left him a bite. Feeling a bit guilty, Kyle asked him what month and year it was. Theron, confused, told him it was the 24th day of the month in the year 2823. Kyle's face turned serious. This meant he had gone back 3 years before the war broke out. Noticing Kyle's sudden change in demeanor, Theron said he'd forgive him this time since it was Kyle's birthday, then left, saying that if he kissed the ground and begged, Lisa might feed him a full meal. Afterward, Kyle went to speak with his mother, asking if there were any spells that could send someone back in time. After all, she was an archmage. Only a few knew more about magic than she did. She confirmed that such spells existed, though they were rare and largely unknown. But she explained that no one could actually use them due to the immense magic power required. Even if the greatest mage in history used all their magic, she doubted they could travel back even a single second. Kyle then asked if using a magical item as a catalyst to store the necessary power might make it possible. She admitted it could help, but even then, it would take someone over 1,000 years to store enough magic. Turning serious, Kyle asked What about using the forbidden rite, a sacrificial ritual that converts life force into magic power? His mother replied that even that wouldn't be enough, as it would require the lives of half the humanoid population on the continent. This made Kyle realize the true reason behind the Demon King's war. His mother went on to explain that, aside from all that, there was no known catalyst capable of holding such vast power. But if one did exist, it would be the legendary Divine Dragon's Heart. A long time ago, the ancient magic kingdom of Zarls had prospered for 1,000 years thanks to the Divine Dragon's Heart and its immense magic. But when its power was exhausted, the kingdom fell. Since then, the Divine Dragon had vanished, and his mother suspected it might have already fallen into demon hands. His mother then smiled, telling him this was nice. It had been ages since they last talked like this, since Kyle had been avoiding her lately. Hearing that, Kyle immediately apologized, saying it wasn't on purpose. As they talked, she suddenly got hungry and looked forward to eating the food Lieza had cooked, only to be shocked to learn that Kyle had eaten all of it. Later, as Kyle sat alone reflecting on everything that had happened that day, Lisa joined him. Seeing her, he quickly apologized for what had happened that morning, saying he only acted that way because he'd had a strange dream about her dying. Lisa then smiled, forgave him, and wished him a happy birthday. Her smile triggered a flashback. Kyle remembered the moment she had died in his arms. Their town, located near Demon territory, was the first to be attacked when the war broke out. It had been burned to the ground, turned into a hellscape. That was the day he lost Lisa. From that day on, he had sworn to avenge her no matter what. Now, seeing her alive and smiling, Kyle made up his mind. 3 years from now, this peace would end. If he did nothing, everything he loved would be lost again. This time, he was determined to change fate and save everyone. That night, he wrote down every future event he could remember in a notebook. Then he picked up his sword and went to test his current strength. If you come this far, please consider liking and subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you.